My name is Russ Taylor, and I am from a small little town that if I told you, you wouldn't even know where to start looking for it. We grew up in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of acres and a lot of animals, riding horses, dogs. That's kind of been where I really grew my heart out, up there in the middle of the desert. I mean, either you get into trouble by playing guitar and smoking weed with your friends, which my parents would have killed me if I'd done. So it was workout, sports, and ride horses. And as I got older, it just kind of bred me into being a real competitive person. I was always a fan of wrestling growing up, and I kind of always knew that I was just going to do this one day. I was attracted to the mat wrestling. I was attracted to grappling. I was very, very good at learning this catch wrestling style that was taught from the New Japan teachers down to T.J. Perkins, Rocky Romero, Ricky Reyes, and they were now teaching it back onto me here at the school of Hard Knocks for Jesse Hernandez. Grappling is understanding every tool that your body has to its use. It's not just your arms or your legs or your neck or your back. It's the flow of everything consistently at the exact same time. Having a chance to really be able to get my shot at being the ROH Pure Wrestling Champion is something I never thought I would ever have a chance to do. And I will tell you this, it is incredible. At 26, I felt I had utterly failed at professional wrestling. I had my chance to get signed a few months prior to it, and I was told, you did very well, but unfortunately you're not what we're looking for. I remember still living at my parents' house because I was still so broke at the time. They just didn't want to lift anymore, didn't want to work out or train hard anymore. I didn't think there was any reason to. It was a real depression time, I will say that. I had all this momentum I had built up for a few years, and then I felt it kind of came down to a zero, and maybe I was done. But we talk again about having that strong heart, and that strong heart will carry you through the darkest of times you're going to have. So you get on your own feet, and you make your own day, and you make it happen for yourself. That kind of hardship, it really strengthens the heart, and the heart's the muscle that's the most important in your body. I've seen Tracy's work around the scene, and I'm very aware of who Tracy Williams is. However, we have never actually met. So when you do see us in the middle of the ring, nose to nose with the bell ringing, that's going to be the first time I've ever actually met Tracy Williams. So I don't really know what to expect. I don't really know how it's going to feel when we lock up. I don't really know how energy is going to flow with each other. But I've seen his work, and I can tell you that he fights hard, he fights resilient. My only hope is that Tracy Williams is as prepared as I am, because if I walk through him in this first round match, I would be heavily disappointed. I have never been in an ROH ring before, but with this tournament, you will not forget my name. I promise you that.
My name is Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, and professional wrestling is my life's work. And in Ring of Honor, my work has just begun. Before I got into professional wrestling, my background in combat sports was essentially watching a ton of fighting, watching a ton of wrestling, doing a tiny little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and mostly just fighting with my friends. I mean, we would go to Prospect Park in Brooklyn and essentially just fight each other on the grass. And we all just had this natural desire to just compete with each other. Starting in 2008, I would take the Chinatown bus to Philadelphia twice a week. I sought out of school and I started training seriously for professional wrestling. And that's how I began my athletic career. Going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, going to combat Sambo. Everything that we do in professional wrestling is taken from a wide array of combat sports. And so to understand the roots of those techniques and to understand why you're doing everything that you're doing to make it that much more effective is paramount to the training of a professional wrestler. I think a real turning point in my career to finding the confidence to reach the greatness that I knew that I could reach was learning to not try to be something that I'm not, and learning to lean into what I'm great at and what works for me. And what that is technical wrestling. Then the path became even clearer of what I needed to do. And my history in Ring of Honor began. My first match here was against Jonathan Gresham, another incredible world-class wrestler. And I believe through that contest and through several other contests after that, I earned myself a contract in Ring of Honor. And I knew what my motivation was, and there were several other people around coming into Ring of Honor at that time that had a similar motivation. And the idea behind Lifeblood was to restore honor to Ring of Honor and build this company up as what it is supposed to be. In my eyes, the Lifeblood experiment was a failure. Our minds were in the right place, but certain factors came in and we didn't get there. And then, like a beacon out of the sky, came the announcement that Ring of Honor Wrestling was bringing back the Pure Championship. And that was it. I knew what I had to do. I wanted to be the modern iteration of that pure Ring of Honor professional wrestler that just embodies everything that true professional wrestling is. And so now, my path is singular. Looking at my first round opponent, Russ Taylor, the first thing that stands out to me about him is he's in absolutely impeccable physical condition. Clearly his conditioning is on point. Clearly he's very strong. Those are probably his strengths in the ring. So Russ Taylor, yeah, he may be in amazing shape, but some of the best fights in my life are against opponents, 100 pounds heavier than me. I believe that a game plan and that tenacity is what wins a fight. And so I do tend to attack the neck. I do tend to use the pile driver. I do tend to use the face lock. Some call it a cross face. And if I get either of those things on you, yes, you are done. But I also pride myself on the fact that if I catch you in the right position and I exploit whatever your weakness is, anything can work. Anything can win the fight. I do have a temper. I do have a limit that I can reach in the ring when I'm pushed to a certain degree where the fire turns on, the hot sauce comes out, and I change. I flip the switch, the temper comes out. And whoever's on the other end of that temper knows when it happens. We've truly hit the reset button on Ring of Honor, and now the Pure title is at the forefront, and now the path is for Tracy Williams to show everybody in Ring of Honor and everybody around the world why I'm here, why I was brought to this company, what got me through the door here, and that is professional wrestling. Effective and hard professional wrestling, and that's exactly what you're gonna see.